So I'm Tria Kreutzer. I am owner of the Joe Carbone Team at Compass here in Fayetteville, Georgia. I also live here in Fayetteville, and today is our grand opening festival, and two major nonprofits in our town or in our county are Bloom and Royal Animal Refuge. And the reason that we chose them specifically is because it's serving the most vulnerable of society. On one hand, for Bloom, they support foster children and their families to have adequate transition and support and the things that they need during a really rough time of these kids' lives. And with Royal Animal Refuge, they take in animals that really were about to be euthanized, and they are the salvation for these fur babies to get adopted back out. And we feel that everyone deserves a home, and it was really near and dear to my heart personally. So I wanted to also bring awareness of why that is important to me. And with me here today, who actually flew in from New Jersey, is my very dear friend and pretty much sister, Cynthia Pickenich, and her mom, Lynna Tolka. And when I was in between 9th and 10th grade, I had already been in 11 different households, lived with a multitude of different family members, and was just at a critical point where having a stable home wasn't really part of what was happening for me at the moment. I actually met Cynthia in an arcade when we were 14 years old. And basically shared my story with her. She had turned around and went to her parents and said, you know, I wanted to kind of live with them, and she was willing to go to them and say, hey, can we take her in? And at this point, I think it might be good to kind of turn it over to the two of them on what that experience was like, taking in someone who needed a place and a loving home and an environment that would be conducive to finish growing up in.
So I mean, I have to say it was really kind of all of a sudden, and you know, God works in strange ways. I met Tria and I heard about her story, and we seem to have a lot in common. And she came over and met my family. And afterwards, you know, there was a need. She needed to find somewhere. Her circumstance was pretty dire at the time. So I asked my parents, you know, hey, can Tria come and live with us? And they talked it over. We prayed about it. And the next thing we know... Yeah, so what was your thoughts on that? I mean,
well, we called her father, first of all, because we couldn't just take her.
Right.
And we spoke with him about it. He was okay with that.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't take her in anymore either, because she was having a problem with the stepmother, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and he was okay with it, and we agreed to have her live with us for the amount of time that she needed to finish high school.
Right. And what was interesting at the time was my grandfather had just passed away, and he was with us for about 7 years. So it's like we had just lost someone, and then here Tria came in with such a vibrant personality, and we just got along so great, and all of a sudden she kind of filled that empty void that we had with that loss. It might have been maybe 2 weeks prior. So you know, I think that, you know, we helped Tria in a way, but in a way she kind of blessed our family too. It gave me a forever friend, sister, and person in my life. Also, during that time, she got involved in the church with us, and
I got to have a new relationship with Jesus that, you know, growing up Catholic, I wasn't necessarily exposed to having a personal relationship with Jesus, which was pivotal in their household, and they exposed me and really taught me a whole lot about the security in the Lord and having that personal relationship, and it really was transformational. And I feel that of all my prayers over my childhood and what I had wanted in my life, I feel, especially looking back, you know, 35 plus 40
Yeah,
years later,
yeah. Been a while.
almost 40 years later, that God orchestrates really big plans and you don't always see them at the time.
Yeah.
And then in retrospect, you're like, wow, sometimes you're down in this valley and you think you're alone, but you're not.
Yeah.
And God creates miracles and puts the right people in the right place. And who would know that would happen in an arcade in Maplewood, New Jersey? That would be totally pivotal for my entire life moving forward. And here we are, all of these years later, always still close.
Yeah.
Still see each other multiple times a year, and here they are to help me celebrate my grand opening. And also I think it's inspirational for kids that feel like there's no hope, because there always is. There's always have that positive attitude of something can be greater. Just because my life circumstances is this now, that doesn't mean forever. And all the things I've been able to do and accomplish and give back as a result of the things and life lessons I've learned over my life, I think have been pivotal, and the two of you have been such an amazing part of it.
Oh my God. It's so great.
I think that, you know what the most the most important time in my life for you was when you called me and said you accept the Christ as your Savior. Then
when you see the results.
Only the results of all that took place.
Yes. The difficulties, the challenges of entering a new family, getting to know who we are, what your needs were, what our needs were. I have a brother with Down syndrome and autism who fit into the picture, so getting used to someone with special needs.
Right.
I have an older sister who gained herself another sister, so it was a lot of getting used to all the different personalities and what each of us can add to each other's lives. And I think in one way or another, each one of us added something to the other.
Yeah, definitely.
Our personalities and our backgrounds. So.
And I think being exposed to a lot of different family backgrounds, living in so many different places, really gave me a different perception on awareness and understanding people. I mean, I've lived in upper middle class, poverty. Yeah. I mean, I've pretty much seen it all. I've been able to be friends with people from every kind of socioeconomic background, different religions and races, and all kinds of things that I think have helped me be very cognizant of other people in general, and that is I think so vital in society, and to really care about others regardless of who they are or what their circumstances are, and just love on people.
That's probably why these fundraisers and these different opportunities, you have a heart for that, because of how you saw life and a change could be made. It gives hope to other children. It gives hope to animals who think that it's the end and they've got no hope. And when you donate, when you volunteer, when you there's always a little something. It could be the smallest of thing or the biggest of thing that can contribute to someone's life and the challenges that they face and how it could really help them in their future. I mean, I see Tria now. We are just so proud of all that she's become, her education and her career choices, and just how she built this company and all the things. It's just amazing to see that by just a little push and just a little love from somebody, what a great person you've become, and how foster children around could know that there's hope and you could be whatever it is you want to be with just a little push.
Yeah. So really, I just think it's important for people to come out and support our community, support and love on the most vulnerable, and I really just can't thank you guys enough for everything you've been in my life.
You're so welcome.
And it means so much to me that you guys came out for this special
for
time in my life too.
So we're just so thankful that you've added life to our life, a great life and a great friendship and a great sister.
Yes.
Can't help it. But
okay.
Bye.